Hi, welcome back to the Stitchery Podcast. My name is Jonna. I am from the Mars, Pennsylvania area, just north of Pittsburgh. And you can find this group on Ravelry under Stitchery Podcast. And you can find me under Jonna Jacobs, also under Ravelry. Today I want to start with some knitting. It's been a little while since I've podcast, so I've got several things I want to talk about and actually have a finished object. It's not here for me to show. It was a gift that I gave to my friend. If you watched any of the previous podcasts, you would see that I was making a mini madness for a coworker. And I have given it to her, but if I can figure out how to do so, I will insert a picture here so you can see it. The Mini Madness pattern is made by Angie Kimmel, and you can find it on Ravelry. And let's see here. The yarn I use, that's what I meant to say. The yarn I used is Rowan Fine Arts, and the number, colorway for the number is 302. And I actually have a little bit of it left over here, so I can show that to you. There. It's absolutely beautiful. It drapes so nicely, and I decided that I wanted to make one for myself as well. So that will lead us right into works in progress. I have mine that I've started here in my Mrs. Brown's bag, and I absolutely love this pattern. You can really finagle it to any way you want to, and that's what I've decided to do with this one. Instead of following the exact patterns where the eyelets go, I'm kind of putting them where I'd like to, as long as I'm ending with an odd number. You can certainly do that. And here's the yarn I'm using. And this is also Rowan Fine Arts yarn. This was given to me by my sister. I absolutely love this yarn. And the colorway for this one is, let's see, it's a number 308. It is so nice, so drapey. It has mohair. Let's see, it is 45% wool, 20% mohair, 25% polyamide, and 10% silk. It's just beautiful. So here is what I've gotten so far. Let's see. I do have two cats, by the way. You may see them during the podcast at some point. They're moving all around me, so they may say hello. I did do a little filming of the both of them before I started, and if I can figure out again, I will insert that in there as well. But this is the Mini Madness so far, and I love it. I just absolutely love it. Cannot wait to have one for myself. And I'm using Chai Goose US 4s, which is 3.5 millimeters, and 40 inch. So very excited to have one for myself going. Super excited about it. Okay, and here's the pattern. Mini Madness pattern. Got it from Ravelry. Okay, the other work in progress I've shown before is my Linus shawl. It's what I chose to do for my fading shawl. I didn't do the actual pattern that everybody was doing. I just decided to try to do some sort of color work, fading colors of my own with my own simple pattern, because I'm pretty new at knitting. And so this is where I am with it. I started, and I know I mentioned on the other podcast that I started with the white because I'm ending with the white, and I didn't know if I would like two different colors on each end. I would have liked it. I should have kept it that way, but I started it, and that's okay. I'll leave it like it is. there's fades in, and then it starts dramatically changing with the colors. And I'm actually on a much lighter color now up here. I'll show it to you. Not this one, this one. This is the one I'm doing now. I'm going to see if I can, if my lighting will change. And then I will end with the bright white that I had at the very beginning. So I'm getting very close to finishing this. I'm really excited. I have learned that, you know, being a new knitter especially, you kind of make some mistakes. And I almost pulled this out. I was here. Here's my marker. And I had gone that much more. Marker, that much more. And I almost pulled it out because when I have to tink back to try to correct an error, sometimes I don't always do the right way. Whether it's a knit, sometimes it looks almost like a purl. That being said, that's okay. I will notice it. Most people won't notice it, especially when you're wearing it around your neck. But here on the edge where you're supposed to do a stitch two together, I actually did right here. I did a increase. And that little bump was bothering me and bothering me and bothering me. And I thought, you know what? Do it again. Just go down the road here. And so I added another one. And then I'll keep going. And possibly, because right, I'm from here to here, possibly I'll add one more right at the very end. Or not. I don't know. We'll see. But it gives it a little bit of a texture. And it won't look so bad just having one. I just kind of add a little bit here and there. So I'm playing with it just to see. So I love it. It's been fun. I like getting to a new color. And the yarn that I'm using is Frolicking Feet. I've mentioned this before in the other episodes. It's Frolicking Feet Doan Roving Yarns, number 6. Chateau Rose Gradients, and it's 100% super merino, superwash merino. So that's exciting. I can't wait to have it done and be able to wear it in the fall to work and stuff. Okay, so the next thing I'm working on, I've started kind of recent. I've been to our local yarn store and with my sister, and I wanted to try some hedgehog. Never had it before, and they had some single skinnies available, and so I picked up a bunch of colors, and I put one of them actually in my my cozy memory blanket, and I didn't like it in there because it was almost super fine and had a lot of halo, and it was much softer, which some people absolutely love, but it was much softer than what I had with all my other yarns. So with that being said, I was kind of not really wanting to try it, but I had several of these and I couldn't not do something with it. So I thought, well, maybe if I make something where it's all the same yarn, I would like it better. So I found, with my sister's help, I have found a pattern. It's called Mini Skein Sampler. It's like a scarf, and I found it on Ravelry, and I have it in this bag here, which I bought at our another local yarn store, and it's a drawstring bag. And here's the pattern. Got it on Ravelry, and it's so beautiful. And what you do is you just take from from one stitch to the next, you're putting an eyelet row in, and then you start, or one, not one stitch, one color to the next, you're putting an eyelet row in. So it gives it a division from one color to the next. I can't wait to get to the second color. I'm on my first color. I'll show you that first, and then I'll show you the other colors. Not knowingly, as I was buying these, it all turned out to be that it was kind of looking like a rainbow, the colors that I was getting. And I thought, well, I'll put it on like a rainbow. I'll do it like a rainbow. So here is the first, and this kind of blends in with my shirt, so I don't know how well you'll be able to see it. It goes, you know, like a diagonal. So we've got it here, like that. And this is the first color. I don't know if they're shadowing from the lighting. I'm still working on the lighting. It's so hard to get. The lighting seemed really good, and by the time I got all my notes together and everything, you know, all the natural lighting changes, so it's been kind of difficult to do. But here's the ball band for that. And this one's called Poison. And I'm really going to like this, I think. It's going to feel, I think, extremely nice. A lot of people like the hedgehog. I think when I use it as one, you know, hedgehog for a whole project, I think I'm going to really like it too. So I'll show you the other colors. And my needles that I'm using are actually straight needles because I didn't have a size 3 circular, which now I do since I started. I did go out and buy some. And these are collage square straight needles. They're size 3 US, which is 3.25 millimeters. And I actually really like the square. I like the feel of these. I love how it just everything shifts so nicely. The yarn shifts real nicely. The points are pretty good. My hand shakes, so I'm sorry, but I do like them. So I'm going to keep going with them. So here are the next few colors. So the orange, and then the orangey yellow to yellow, and then kind of bluey green, green, and then purpley kind of. So that's how I'm going to do it. So this one will be my second color. And pull back some. That's it. And that colorway is called Villain. And then the next one is going to be I don't know. The lighting may be blowing it out. And it's kind of a lighter color. And that's called Monarch. Monarch. And I think that's a nice transition into the yellow. And that's quite a bright yellow. It's more golden. It looks very neon to me in the camera, but it's very golden more. I don't think it's doing any justice to that. And it's called Egg Yolk, and literally it does. Egg yolk. That's exactly what it looks like. The golden. The name fits very well with that. And then, since I didn't really have much of a blue, I went with this one. It has blues in it. So we're going to use that one. And it's called Fly. Okay. And then we have the green, which is kind of neon-y green. And it's called Envy. Envy. I'm just going to try to adjust my lighting a little bit. There we go. Envy. Nice, I like that. That looks good. And there's the ball band. Okay. And then this will be our purplies, the last two. That one. Let's go this way. Try to keep it still so you can see it. Okay. And that one is called Salty Tails. Salty Tails. And then the last one has some beautiful little colors in it. And that one is called Shiver. So that's it. So that's, you know, kind of like the rainbow. And I think it will be enough to make a nice size. And so I'm looking forward to moving on with this and having this also for the fall and for the winter. I'm liking the changes of the colors, so it's always fun to get to a new one. So that's what I look forward to getting that one done. So now the next thing I have is actually a hoe, and I'm super excited about this because, as I mentioned before, socks are very difficult for me, and I actually moved through and was able to finish one of the socks, and I have started the second one. Wanted to start it right away because I didn't want to have it sitting there and then me never doing it. So I want to have a finished pair. And I showed these before, and I mentioned these. I'm doing the Smooth Operator SOS socks by Susan B. Anderson, pattern on Ravelry, and I'll show you the finished one first. And actually, this should be on a sock blocker. I have right here. Let me get this off and put it on a sock blocker for you. I did not do a full-size sock. I did a shorty because I wanted to get right to doing the heel, because that's where I've always been struggling, is the heels, and I wanted to be able to try this one. So here is the sock. Let's see if I can get lighting. There we go. So I have a contrasting heel and a contrasting toe, and I really like, let's see, I really like this. Now, I didn't do so hot with the, right in here you'll see, not so hot first time doing it, a little bumpy, but when I did the toe, it was so much better. It just worked so much better. So, and you're doing basically a toe right here anyway. So, I think what the difference is, and I do have a slight little hole here, and I think what my issue is with this is when you do the pattern and you're putting the waste yarn in, she has you doing several rows of the waste yarn. And which gives it its meatier, but I think what I'm going to do is try to lessen the rows on the second one that I'm doing, because I think what it is then I'm having to pick up and fill in more area when I'm doing this. And when I did the toe, you go right from, you know, right from finishing to going right on to doing the toe, and there's no issue with any space. So I think I'm going to try not to. In fact, I've already, here's mine. My waste yarn is the orange. I made sure it was nice and bright so I could see it better, because this isn't my first time trying this, and when I did it the first time it was not, wasn't so noticeable to me. So that's that. This is how far I am on this. Okay. And I'll show you the yarn in a minute. There's that. So I just did a very short there. It's going to be very short. It's the same exact. I wrote it down what I did the first time. So it's going to be really short, right to the heel. And I've tried these on and these fit me fine. So I may always make them this way because I don't really like, or I don't like socks on my feet very much. I like to be barefoot mainly, but it's nice to have some knitted slippers or socks in the wintertime. So around the house I have wooden floors, so it'd be kind of nice to have all that. So yeah, so that's where I'm at. I'm using Chai-Gu lace. Let's see here. So I'm using Chai-Gu lace needles 1.5 US, which is 2.5 millimeters. And I'll show you the yarn here. Here's the main. I've showed this before, the main yarn. And I don't seem to have the ball band. Oh, here it is. That's the yarn, and it's called Try On My World. And I like this yarn a lot. It's self-striping. And originally I was going to do the hedgehog. It was a bright pink yarn. I showed it in the last few episodes. Well, I learned it wouldn't last as a heel, and there's no nylon in it. Well, I picked this to be the contrast, which you saw. And I thought this would be awesome. I believe it has nylon. No nylon, which I really wanted to have nylon. But there's the ball band. And it's superwash merino 100%. It's called Tea Party 04. That's the name. Tea Party 04. And it's very stretchy. I like it. I think it's pretty tough, but I think it would have held up better if I had put in something with nylon. So next time I'll do that. So in the meantime, I have everything in this little bag, which I've shown. It's my little Dalshin Dogs bag, and I made this one. I'm trying to make bags, and I'll talk about that later in the podcast. So super excited. I have one done. I'm on the way to getting the other one done, and I don't have that far to go because I'm not making a very big sock. I believe I went 5 inches from the tip of where the heel will be up, and then I started my toe. So that's exciting, and I've got about, I don't know, 1.5 inches or so, 2 inches on here. So I'm getting closer. Very excited about that. So hopefully next time, because it will probably be, 3 weeks to a month before I podcast again, because I do work a full-time job and I don't want to show the same things over and over and not have much done on them. So it'll probably be about 3 weeks to a month before I show you again, and hopefully I'll have another sock done. I'll have another FO. So that's exciting. Okay, so now I want to talk just briefly about some future knitting that I want to do. I do want to do some Christmas knitting, but I don't have anything planned yet. I'm struggling with that. I have some yarn and I'm not going to show it because it's alpaca, 100% alpaca, and it's going to be beautiful once I make something. I just don't know exactly what I want to make with it, and it's going to be gifts for I have 2 daughters here at home, and it's for their boyfriends' mothers for Christmas. So I want to make something very special for them, probably a little shawlette or something, or a nice little scarf, and for Christmas. And I started to make one using one of the skeins, and I kept having to pull it back because things weren't going right, and the yarn is looking like it's not holding up well. And you gotta, I think, really know what you're making and know that you can make it instead of keep ripping back. The fiber's starting to grab and hold, and it's not wanting to pull out as easy, and so it's just very delicate, I think, and I am gonna wait until I find exactly what I want to make. Maybe do, if it's something I've never done before, maybe do it, a sample of it with some scrap side yarn that I don't care too much about, and see if I can do the pattern without a lot of issues, and then jump on with the right yarn. So that's something, but I'm not going to really get into that. I do have 3 things I want to show you. One of them being the Zuzu Petals pattern by Karina Spencer from Ravelry. Oh, I got it on Ravelry. And I have it right now all in this Penguins bag. Stanley Cup champions. So proud of them. Awesome, awesome. Anyways, got this at a craft show last year, and I love it. It's like a little tie knot bag. So I have this in here, and the pattern is a paid for pattern. It's called Zuzu Petals. I can show you that without giving anything out. What I like about this, and my sister made one, and I kept looking at it on her project page, and I just didn't get it. I would see the front, it almost looked like a bib kind of thing. I'm thinking, how does she wear this? There's nothing that comes around. Well, it does. It's like a comes around the neck, and then it comes down like a bib, and you wear your coat or something, and it's just so, or not a coat, but either way you wear it, and it's just so pretty, and like a cowl, really. Shorter here and then coming down. So I went ahead and bought the pattern, and then I picked up some yarn at our a local yarn store. It's Malabrigo, and it's Ario. I don't know how to pronounce that. It is a pure superwash merino wool. It's 335 yards. And it is worsted weight, and the color is Coffee Toffee, 047 Coffee Toffee, and I just love it. I love it so much. It is beautiful. I hope it's showing up right on the screen. My sister and I both loved it. Told her if she bought some, she'd have to make a different pattern. Couldn't make the same thing. So she may go back and buy it, I don't know. It's gorgeous, and it feels so nice. I just love it. It's Malabrigo, and so I'm looking forward to making this, hoping to start. But I want to finish the Linus first. I think once I finish that, then I'll probably start this next. So try not to have too much going on at one time. Ha! Easier said than done. The second thing I want to start is I want to make some socks, and I will start these once my other socks are finished. I have them in this little donut bag. We bought this at Target. It's really a cosmetic case, but I loved it. It was just so cute. So I wanted to put that in there, and I actually have a little progress keeper. That is the donut. I don't know if you can see. So yeah, so I kind of put that in there. And this is the yarn I'm going to use. It is Deborah Norville Serenity Sock Weight. I got this inexpensively at a store, as you can see, $1.99. While ago. I got it a while ago knowing that I was going to try to make some socks, but I didn't want to spend a lot of money on socks if it was something that wasn't going to work out for me. And you know, I just didn't know at the time how far I would go with knitting. So this yarn is called Aquamarine. The number is DN108-08. And again, Premier Yarn Serenity Sock Weight. And so we'll see. I'm going to try to make some socks for my daughter. I have several daughters, so I have actually more of this with a pinkish color too. So once I make these, then I'll probably make the other one for the other daughter. And Kissing Cousins, that's the pattern I want to try. Here that is. I don't know if you can see it. And what you do basically is it's going to be an afterthought heel, sort of like the SOS thing. I haven't read this thoroughly, so I'm not positive on all this, but you basically are making one long tube. you have waist yarn for the heel, you come up and do the toe, then you have waist yarn again, then you go toe and up, waist yarn for the heel, and then you finish. So you have this one long thing basically. And then you take your waist yarn out and you have 2 separate socks, and then you put in your heels, and then you have a pair. Done. Because I'm always concerned that I'll finish one and not finish another, because socks are a little stressful to me, and I definitely don't want to have just one sock. So it was recommended to me by our local yarn store to purchase this, and I did, from Ravelry. So it's really neat. And so I'll use the same color waist yarn, that orangey leftover scrap stuff that I have. So I'll use that. So that's exciting, and I'm looking forward to doing that. And then the other thing is, I want to start, and I may not wait for my mini skein sampler to be finished, my scarf, but I want to start another scarf. My one daughter said, I'd love for you to make me a scarf. And I said, well, what kind? She said, an infinity scarf. And so I was looking up patterns on Ravelry, and I found one. She liked it. It's called Blue Infinity Scarf. I believe this one is free. And I have it. I have not started it, but I have it all ready to go. It's in this bag. This is the first bag I ever made. I showed before on podcast. Little dots on the back. So I have it in this here. And she picked out some stash yarn that I had from before, and it's Bernat Softy Chunky, all acrylic, which she wants. She doesn't mind. And I want something that she's you know, I want something tough, easy to clean for her. So that's what she wanted, and we picked it out. I just printed it actually this morning, and this is what it should look like. And so I'm going to try to make that for her. Don't know exactly which needles I'll be using just yet. It looks like you need to use a size 10. So I will either use my Addy Clicks interchangeables, or I'll use, if I have something else, because I have all kinds of needles. I'm not quite sure exactly what sizes they are, so if I have something else, I may do something else with it. Okay, so those are my future knitting that I want to try. Crochet, I have not gotten any further on my charity placemats that I'm doing. Knitting has really kind of taken over right now. Crochet is my first love. I have done it for many, many years. I will continue to crochet. Right now though, I have just been, I'm like a sponge soaking up the knitting, and it's because I think it's because I'm trying to learn more techniques and things, and I feel once I get to a point where I'm not a new knitter so much, and I know more of the techniques, and I'm a lot more comfortable with my knitting, I think then I won't be so absorbent trying to learn everything, and I'll be able to just, you know, knitting is just second nature to me, and or crocheting is second nature to me, and I want knitting to be the same thing. So right now I'm just super focused on that, but you know, I still will keep on with the crocheting. I absolutely adore it. So I'm not going to really show you anything because I didn't get anywhere. I haven't gotten any further with the placemats. So I'm hoping for next time that I'll have some more of that done. Sewing, I haven't made any more bags. I'm brand new at sewing as well, but I did pick up some fabric that I want to show you because I am very soon going to jump on the sewing machine, pull it out, jump on it, and start making some more bags again. I need to buy some more of the cord for, because I do not do zippers. I'm not ready for that, but I do the you know, the drawstring, and I need some more cord for that. So I haven't made any more, but this is some fabric I picked up. And I love it. I love the owls on here. It is so, so cute. I love the blues. I love the orange, rusty orange. Like, this is adorable. I cannot wait to do it. I'm gonna make a couple bags with this. I bought several of these, so really excited about that. So hopefully soon, hopefully again by the next podcast I'll have something to show with that. I did want to show you some quilting I had done. Didn't go very far. I did not finish the project. With some friends, we were all learning it. We had a blast trying to learn. I did learn some techniques which I maybe one day can come back to and try again, but this is what I had made. We were trying to make table runners. I believe this is the Jacob's ladder that I was making, I want to say, which, and they actually helped picked out the fabric for me. I was not able to go on the shopping spree that they did, so this is what was picked out for me. They wanted something contrasting, which would be obviously the purple. And so I've never done anything with it. Here's the back, here's the front. So, and then this one I believe is going to be, I believe what they picked out to go on the back part of my quilt or table runner that I was making, because it was going to be reversible. And never went, you know, I have all this fabric with this stuff and it just never went anywhere. So I think I'm going to use these for my project bags, and I think I'm going to actually turn this into, or somehow put this on so I have this on part of my project bag. I love patchwork sort of things, so I think this would be really neat. I don't want this to just never be used and be tucked away, laying around. So that is something I'm thinking of doing, putting that in there. Then when I was on this, I'm gonna quilt, and I was really interested in just getting a bunch of, you know, quarters or fat quarters, whatever they're called, and I went crazy, but I never, like I said, did anything more with them. So I've got all of this, all these fat quarters, and I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to either piece them together to make bags, or I'm going to piece, or not piece them together and just use, like, you know, one on one and one on the other side or something, somehow pull them together and make some project bags with them. So I've got a ton to play with. They weren't terribly expensive, so if I mess up, I mess up, and it's okay. I didn't really, don't lose a whole lot of that, so that's fine. And excuse me while I take a drink. I'm drinking from my cup that one of my daughters bought me for Mother's Day. Ceramic, I guess. And I absolutely love it. It keeps everything warm, but it's not too hot to hold. It's really cute. Starbucks. And I'm drinking actually tea, vanilla chai tea, and it's really, really good. So I think that's it for now. Again, I feel like I flew through this. I gotta learn to not be so nervous and just settle down a little bit, talk a little slower. But that's all for my notes. I hope everybody has a wonderful weekend. It is actually June 17th. So tomorrow is Father's Day in the US, and I believe in Canada too. So happy Father's Day to everyone out there. And God bless, and I hope to see you again for row. Let's see. I'm on row. I don't even know what row I'm on. I think this is row 4, I think. So I'll see you for the next row. If I'm wrong, I'll let you know. Ciao.